Duperas y Duperas. Today on Doop by the River, we're going to look back at what took place last week against Montreal. We're also going to be looking ahead against San Jose this upcoming weekend. And ladies and gentlemen, the Messi has landed. Messi in the U.S. We'll give you our thoughts as well. Don't you dare go anywhere because you do not want to miss this episode of Doop by the River. And let's get it started, guys.
Doop by the River
doesn't do anything well. There is not one.
I'm sorry. There was no creativity.
As a Union fan, I take that all day.
Another DP. We need to go get Mario Balotelli. And that is right. Welcome, everyone, to Doop by the River, the show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union. And, of course, we are brought to you by Philly Sports Network. Before we dive into today's episode of Doop by the River, we want to welcome everyone to this episode. We're happy to be back this week. Of course, welcome everyone from El Parcero Phillies YouTube channel. Welcome on in for Doop by the River Twitter account. If you're watching live on YouTube, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe for more Phillies for more Doop by the River, and then of course make sure you guys follow us here on Doop by the River. Of course, I'm joined today with my expert in duping. Please give him a warm round of applause and welcome back my man, Mr. Zach Lobasso. Zach, what's going on, brother? Welcome on back, baby.
Yeah, it's been an interesting day today. A lot of big things going on, and I'm looking forward to talking about them. It's good to be back. Soccer season is winding down, at least for the club level for the kids, which frees up me quite a bit. So, yeah, should be good.
We're always happy to have you back, and I'm happy to have you because you know what? You do have an appreciation for South American football, so I do appreciate that. So we'll definitely talk about the GOAT that is Messi. Dude, you surviving out Armageddon out there, man? It's pretty weird out there.
Yeah, I was out training last night actually.
Oof.
When it started rolling in, and I was like looking around, wondering what was going on. And I realized like where it was coming from. But yeah, it's like really. I opened my door one time to throw something out, and it was pretty strong, like the smell. And I was like, all right, we're just not going outside today. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't go for a walk. I threw something out onto my balcony, and that was as far as I got. So we're staying inside today. Maybe tomorrow too. We'll see if it gets any better.
Well, they did postpone the Phillies game here today. That got pushed back to tomorrow. So it's a little weird out there. I don't even know how to handle it. It feels like I'm breathing in toxins, but
Well, on the toxicity index thing that they have for like pollution and air quality, where I am right now we're at like 381, and like the highest it goes is 500. So like it's pretty bad out there. It is pretty bad out there.
Nobody ever come out of Philadelphia. We survived championship losses. We've survived water poisoning. We survived air pollution. Don't ever come at us again.
Flooding on the Vineway.
Don't ever come at us again, man. Oh man. Real quick before, because I know everyone wants to talk about Messi. We did have to talk about this because this was a hot topic within the Unionverse, as I like to call it. LAFC loses Champions League final to Club Leon. First off, we do want to congratulate to Club Leon because that is a remarkable trophy that they got. So for you, Zach, with LAFC losing, did that move anything in you? Like, what was your thoughts on it? Did you care? Did it bother you? Were you happy?
No, I didn't really care. Like, personally, for me, I would have rather LAFC won just because, like, MLS. I know that that's an unpopular take among a lot of Union fans because they hate LAFC. But, like, I think we've gone over the fact that I watch soccer a little bit differently than most Union fans do, in terms of the way that I kind of watch it more for, like, I fell in love with the game before I fell in love with the Union. So I'll always value that over the team specifically. So I wanted LAFC to win because I like the way they play and I like the players on their team. And, it's always good for MLS to get a team into the Club World Cup. I mean, we've only done it once, but Seattle had a decent showing last time. And I think LAFC could have gone decently far in the competition. But, I wasn't like heartbroken because I lost, nor was like I super happy that Leon won. Like I was, was what it was.
I'm on the same page with you. And here's the thing. Like, everyone knows I know how to hate a team. Like, don't get that shit twisted. I know how to hate a fucking team, man. LAFC hurts for sure. Like, when I think of MLS Cup Final, the CCL semis, it hurts for sure. But when it comes to CCL, like, yeah, I felt the same way. Like, I did put that aside because, like, I love this league. Like, I seen this league go from what it was in the 2000s to what it is now. Dude, we're about to talk about Lionel Messi playing in our fucking league. So for me, the growth of our league, our sport, and our country, to me, is more important than any, little bickering that we have with LAFC because they were flat out the better team on 2 occasions. So to me, congrats, I didn't want LAFC to win because it's MLS over anything else, especially in that type of tournament. But it is interesting. I do understand the other perspective.
Yeah.
It hurts, man. I still see Bale scoring that freaking goal, man. Like, I get that part. Man. But at the end of the day, man, I need this league to continue going where it's at, man. That's really what it is, man. But Messi does help our league, man. So let's talk about it real quick. I want to start off with this. I don't think you and I are going to disagree, Zach, that Messi coming to our league is a big deal and it absolutely helps our league. You're talking about the greatest of all time. We can argue that at a different time if you want, but Messi's the greatest of all time. Here's my thing, and I have to be real and I have to be honest. The first thing I could think of, Zach, is number one. The first thing that's why I tweeted that out. The ticket prices, and you're seeing it all throughout the league. Everyone,
1,000% they went up.
These prices are absolutely ridiculous.
The tickets for the July 21st game, which is like rumored to be when he's first going to play, were $18 this morning. They're $300 now. And I only know that because I might go to that game because I'll be in Orlando. So I might just drive on down there and go. But yeah, it's crazy because, but that's the impact, right? Like, to see the greatest player of all time in a game that matters, like not just like a friendly in the summer, like a game that actually matters in your home league against your home team. Like, that's huge.
Here's my thing. So 5 years, 3 years down the line, Messi leaves. Do people still have the same kind of reaction towards MLS? Will you still support Miami when Messi retires from Miami? When Messi leaves the league, will you still go to all these matches? And this is where I'm going with it. Like, I love seeing Messi here. I think it's obviously really freaking dope, but I want what this league has been doing. What this league has been doing the past couple of years is duplicatable, and we can continue on this growth. Obviously, you can't keep getting Messi and Mbappe to come here in MLS and play here. So for me, it's about the fan culture. I don't want that plastic fan culture. That's been the beauty of the MLS, and that's the one thing that I worry about, and that's just my only gripe with Messi here.
Well, I think the way you combat that is by bringing him in and then kind of toning down the roster rules that we have now to allow more bigger name, not the biggest names, but like mid-size European names to come over, in their mid to late 20s instead of their mid 30s. And not take in a DP spot, because like the way that DP spots, at least how I understand, is like there's a transfer fee that comes into play, and then there's also the salary, right? So if you bring in a guy like on a certain transfer fee, he's got to be a DP, where like that shouldn't be the case, because that just hinders the types of players you can bring in. Like, if you got rid of like how you calculate, like if DP was only based on salary and not transfer fee, or vice versa, you could top to bottom build a better roster than they have in MLS right now, which is going to improve fans, or improve the number of fans, increase the number of fans, and keep them after Messi leaves, because the teams have gotten so good and the names on those teams are so much more prominent than they are right now. Like, I think that's the bit. Like, if you tone down like the GAM, the TAM, the whatever, and you tone down like how many good players you can have on each team, and the salary cap should be increased. All that stuff is going to improve the name recognition on every team, which will keep fans post this messy era. I think that's the biggest thing is they need to start adjusting for how popular the league is getting and making sure those fans stay by bringing in bigger players to each and every team, not just those bigger cities that we talk about.
And that's funny because I've had people text me like, "Yo, who's next? Like, who's coming to MLS next?" And I'm like, I don't know.
Suarez, Jordi Alba, and Busquets are all going to be on Miami in the next year and a half.
Dude. All right. So let's ask the other question. Let's ask because we obviously follow this league. There's a lot of people who don't, and it's funny. I saw someone tweet out. They were like, "Yo, why?" Because they put the table up, and they obviously saw Miami last.
Oh, I saw.
Why would
I quoted it? I quoted it, and I said, "Messi squeaking Miami in the playoffs is going to be his greatest achievement ever."
No. This fan thought because they didn't watch the MLS, they thought that Miami was going to get relegated.
Oh.
They're like, why would Messi go to Miami if they're about to get relegated?
To save them.
Well, I don't have to break it to you, man. You know,
he was tired of hearing that he always goes to super teams. He wanted a challenge.
Well, all right. So here's the other thing. Miami's not good. All right.
No.
Now, if the other rumor is true, I'm a little worried. Tata is legit.
Yes.
Not only worldwide, we've seen him do it in his league before. Teaming him again with Josef Martin. Now, defensively, they had their issues from what we saw prior, so we'll have to wait and see. They've had some injuries in the midfield as well. But dude, Tata's legit. Like, even if you put Messi with one other player and what they have now, I mean, dude, Tata can get that team.
He can work. Yeah, they can. I think they're gonna make the playoffs. Like at least the play-in game. I don't know. They're only 6 points out at ninth. Like they're not far away. And I can't imagine them not making the playoffs. Yeah, they're only, what are they? They have 15 points. Ninth place is 21.
I'm about to pull it up right now. So here is the Eastern Conference table right now. So as you guys can see here on YouTube, Miami dead last year. They have 15 points. Right now, Charlotte with 21. So, I mean, obviously, we've seen teams climb. We see the Union climb up the charts in the midst of weeks as well. So,
and they have a game in hand on Charlotte. So
that's going to be well. I mean, obviously, like, you know, you could throw Chicago in the water. I mean, New York might give it a fight, but yeah, no, Toronto, I don't know now. Obviously, they had a little resurgence. Red Bull, yeah, that's, you know, Montreal.
Red Bull has to make the playoffs because they always do. They always squeak in.
It'll be interesting. Orlando, Charlotte, Montreal, New York, man.
Orlando's picking it up a little bit.
They are a little bit, and Charlotte, it's a tough outing, but we'll see if they can stay hot. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. Having Messi here in the league, the crowds are gonna be absolutely
huge.
You know, Miami right now is enjoying the final Stanley Cup, and now they're gonna be heading down to Fort Lauderdale.
They're gonna have to move. They're gonna have to move to the Hard Rock to play their games. They'll sell out the Hard Rock.
That is true, man. All those Argentinos, Uruguayos, Colombians, all that down there, man. They're gonna be partying hard down in Miami, man. Yeah. But it should be a lot of fun. He will not more than likely be here the June 24th. His contract expires June 30th, right?
He won't. The first game I think that he's gonna be able to play is the 21st Leagues Cup game, right. July 21st. And then I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm considering going to that Red Bull game when Miami goes to Red Bull. I might go in August.
I mean, if you're down there,
we'll see. I might go. No. At Red Bull. It's at Red Bull.
Ah, wow. Red Bull Arena might sell it for the first time.
First time in a long time. Yeah, wow. I might be going. We gotta see.
They won't even know what they're gonna do over there.
No.
All right. Well, let's get to our club here. Zach, let's talk. Last Saturday we hosted Montreal here in Subaru Park. It was an interesting one because Montreal had more on their mind with Canadian Cup. So they put out a squad that it was probably their B team for a team that's already, thin as it is.
Yeah.
So the lineup here for your blue and gold, they went back to the 3-4-1-2. This seems to be the staple of the season.
Thank
Blake in
goodness.
goal, Wagner, Elliott, Glezis in your back line, Real, Flock, Bueno, Harriel as your mids, Gazdak as the 10, Ure and Carranza as your 2 forwards. And yeah, the Union pretty much put the foot on the gas pedal from the jump, and they didn't let go. Carranza puts the goal in the 12th minute, followed by Ure in the 36th minute. Carranza put another one in the 61st minute. Carranza looked on fire. We'll talk about what we talked about in the beginning, Zach, because it's an interesting topic. But in this match, I mean, again, not really too much takeaway because Montreal did not put a strong lineup out there, but I saw a lot of relentlessness. I saw physicality. They have their confidence up. I don't care who they freaking play. They could play the 2019 Cincinnati squad. I don't care who it was. This team right now is getting back to what we saw last summer, and this is what we were talking about. As the months get warmer, this team gets hot, and so it seems like they're slowly starting to get to it. What did you see from last Saturday? Any takeaways?
I think that they found a new kind of, I shouldn't say style of play, because I think their style's pretty much the same. Like, they don't want the ball, but they can.
You know what Jim says.
Yeah. You just need to score goals, man. That's it. That's all it takes is goals, and this team can score goals. But I love the 3-5-2. It's the formation I play with my U15 boys. I think it gives you so much versatility. It gives you so much in the attack without really giving up much on the back end. And it really allows our wingbacks. I mean, Kai played center back this week, which was interesting to see. But
it is weird.
I mean,
because sometimes like Real and Wagner do like switch off at times.
Yeah, in that one. But I mean, if Lowe's in there, Kai just stays wide.
Right.
But yeah, like, it allows our wingbacks, who largely are more attackers than they are defenders, that freedom to like go up and attack instead of having to like always be ready to get back and defend. Like, obviously they have the responsibility to get back, but because you have 3 center backs plus Brujo and Flock in there, usually, like, you have a lot of coverage and you're attacking with 5 or 6 as opposed to only attacking with like 3 or 4. So I think that it definitely is a move in the right direction, and we've seen it for the past like month now that they've been playing this. And I'm just glad that Jim kind of went away from the 4-1-2-1-2, because like, it was stale. Like, that's what I and a lot of other people were saying at the beginning of the season. Like, it looks stale. Like, there's no differentiation from how they've played, except for the fact that like other teams get it now and they're not allowing them to play that way. But with the new formation, it's worked out really well. And I think you saw that against a subpar opposition on Saturday.
And here's the thing, though. Like, I do think that you can still use the diamond. My problem was, and you mentioned it was stale for a reason. It's because you kept rolling that out there.
That's the only formation they would ever play, like, with any consistency.
With the same 11 too.
Yeah.
And
no rotation.
And that was the main problem with it. But yeah, like you mentioned, you got guys. It's like kind of like a breath of fresh air in a sense. But also too, what helps, Zach, is listen, this attack, that front line, guys like Carranza and Ure, like, they are dangerous.
Yeah,
and their confidence is there. You brought up something interesting, Carranza. Last 2 weeks, it's been the main thing you notice. Dude is on, scoring goals, right? Winning 1v1 situations, creating his own shot, getting after it. Like, he's playing at another level. And you brought up a factor, like, you asked me, like, do I think that he lasts the summer? And it's like, wow, like, we got to start thinking about this. Like, because, dude, he's got the talent. He's demonstrated, like, that type of talent, like, teams, especially over in Europe, like, they do look at that type of stuff. And the dude had the hype coming out of Argentina. Obviously, the mess in Miami was what it was, but he's found his rhythm here in Philly. And dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a good question that you asked, though.
Yeah, I think like the biggest thing is that they did just sign him to another contract, but as we've seen in the world of soccer, that means literally nothing, because you have dudes signing a contract saying, "Oh yeah, I'll be here for the next 5 years," and a week later they get sold. Like if the right fee comes in, anyone can go. Is basically how I look at it. Like if Carranza goes, like I think if like because of Gazdag's age, I don't think he goes in the summer. I think he's more of a winter signing for like maybe a Bundesliga squad who needs to like stay up or something and needs an attacking threat. But Carranza's 23. Okay, I remember when he came and I first saw him play, like I would not have been surprised if he ever plays for the Argentinian national team. Like I would not be surprised. He's got the athleticism. He's got decent pace. And he can finish. And he's got good with his combination play, at least, for the level he's playing at right now. So I think that a Serie A team, a La Liga team, like you said, maybe Ligue 1 are all good spots. I think specifically Serie A and La Liga are good spots for him. And I've seen reports that Europa teams are interested. Now, whether they're interested in the summer or whether they're interested in January is to be determined. But I think that if he continues, like what is he at 9 goals right now on the season?
I thought it was a 10, but you could be right though. I'll find that out.
The window opens like in July 14th or June 14th. It's either June or July. So
he right now has 9 goals. That's spot on, Zach.
Okay. When does MLS summer transfer window?
I get you, but
it is okay. So this says July 5th to August 2nd. Okay, so July 5th to August 2nd is the next window.
Okay.
So if he continues for the next month and a half and gets like how many games do they have in the next month and a half?
I mean, you have that Leagues Cup, John. That
yeah. So let's just say, okay. So we got how many league games? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When does Leagues Cup start?
I think end July.
End of July.
I'm so not looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is the end of July because the next game after July 15th is August 20th. So it's right around there. So if by like July 8th they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, if he has 13 goals and like adds 2 more assists, like I don't see why a team doesn't come knocking. Like I think he's in the range of 6 to 10 million. I think that's around what you're going to get for him. And I think if you get 8, he goes, and then you just reinvest in another striker for 4 million. Like you've made your money. We got him for like 500,000.
Yeah.
I think that it's a no-brainer if the offer comes for in that range. Like I think it's a no-brainer. As good as he is, like that's a lot of money to reinvest in the academy and in the first team. Like you could buy 3 players with 8 million.
Yeah.
And really, and you never know if the Kai rumors start coming up again, like stuff like that. Like it all depends on those offers and how much people are willing to pay. But he's the one that I could see leaving this summer if any of them do. He's the one.
I mean, he's certainly playing into it. I told you, like I need like that consistency with him. Like we've seen him ball out, but we've also seen him go on a cold streak as well. So consistency is definitely key. What's up, Ryan? What's going on, brother? I want to say hello real quick to Ryan Anderson. Gazette, Carranza, and Harriel are the big ones that may not. Harriel, I think Harriel's will last this season, huh? I love Harriel, but
I don't think Harriel plays enough to get a transfer.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, man. Yep.
At least not in the summer. I think in the winter, maybe, but I don't think he plays enough right now to get.
Carranza on the viola, huh? Okay, all right, dude.
They need it after their loss today.
To what was it? To West Ham? Is that Europa League? Yeah, I saw
it.
Dude, what their captain got gashed, bro. Did you see?
Yeah,
that?
I saw that. Yeah.
Dude, I hate that shit, man. Yeah, dude, that'd be sick. You know what I really want though, Zach? Give me Carranza on like Almeria or like Osasuna. I want to see Carranza versus Castellanos in La Liga, man, going toe to toe.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I keep seeing like the big names that people want in MLS now. Dude, I still think Bobby Firmino to Philly could happen, man. I still think it could happen.
That is like the ideal.
Like it
The
makes so
ideal.
much sense for the system they play.
Yeah, but it's the money.
Ernst, I trust me, I get it. But Jay's gotta open. He's either gotta open the pockets at some point, or he's gotta sell the freaking team. And I think he will sell in the next couple years. But yeah,
profits.
like what, dude? Like Bobby makes so much sense, much sense. Especially if Carranza leaves.
What was he making at the Prem? Like what? Like $5 million a year?
I don't think it was that much. Let's see.
Those salaries are interesting over there. What's up, Raynell? Appreciate you checking on in here, man. I would love like that veteran.
It was a lot, actually, more than I thought. It was around $9 million a year, which is a lot more than I thought it was.
Zach, when you put in goals, they gonna pay you.
Yeah, but the thing was he wasn't even really putting in goals like that.
Well, the early parts, no. That front line,
but not. He was the way that they played was he was kind of like a false nine, and then Salah and Mane were scoring all the goals.
Man. Nasty at that. What's up, Brian? What's going on, brother? The crowd was crazy on Saturday. I will tell you what. I don't know if it was the Kelsey effect on Wednesday, but the crowd was loud again on Saturday. It was rambunctious, and it's what you need, man. It's what you need to create that fortress down at Subaru Park. We need to keep that going there for sure, man. But yeah, it's a game. Listen, you take the points. Obviously, Montreal didn't come with their best, but you take the points, and confidence is big. You know, gaining confidence any way you possibly can is absolutely huge, and we're going to take that into our next matchup. All right, Zach, you ready to talk about San Jose, man? We ready to move forward?
I'm ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move forward here with our preview of San Jose Union in San Jose in California for this one. It's going to be a late one, so make sure you drink your coffee. No Red Bull, though, right? But we're gonna go ahead and look ahead. So, of course, as always, we like to give you guys a perspective of the other side. So joining us again this season, giving us the perspective of the Quakes, please welcome on in the legend himself, Don Fabian Rencol. Fabian, what's up, Papa? How you feeling, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm amazed we're talking about other teams besides Inter Miami right now. I'm gonna be real. Inter Miami is about to play against the Legion, right? No,
they're playing right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, I was listening a little bit before. I mean, Bobby Firmino going to Philly. I mean, that's not too crazy, right? I mean, the craziest thing just happened today, right? So
exactly.
It's not that crazy, but yeah. Thanks, guys, for having me on, and it's a pleasure to do this again this year.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. How you been, Fabian? It's been good seeing you, man. I love the look as well. Love the hair, brother. Look at beard, man. Looks good, man.
Hey, man. I gotta get Kid Cal inspiration in there. Some Peso Pumba, inspiration.
Yes. I love that, man.
All my Mexican people some love out here in Cali.
Hey.
California.
Awesome stuff, man. So you're back in Cali now, man.
Yeah, I am.
Dude,
so
sick. How they treating you?
It was nice, man. It's nice to be out here. Weather's nice, So going to games is a good thing too. So excited! I just covered the CONCACAF Champions League final, and
sick, dude.
I was hoping that LAFC would pull it out, but no. Unfortunately, Seattle's the only team to ever win the CONCACAF Champions League ever, or MLS team, right? So
well, now it's the cup,
right, yeah, the championship,
the triple C now.
And you know what? Philly's about to play this match at PayPal Park, which is the Triple P's. We call it PP Park. So come see us at PayPal Park. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So so you're still covering through area sports.
Yeah.
What else you been up to, man?
Yeah. So now I write for Forbes. I write on the soccer side for them,
man.
Yeah. So we just released a Messi article today. How that switches up the odds. So Forbes is always about money. So it's on the betting side of things. So every time we talk about soccer, it's about on the betting side, and what money is about to the league and things like that. So yeah, I'm excited. I got that gig, and I covered the World Cup for them, and I'm going to cover the Women's World Cup if we have any women's soccer fans out here.
Hey, of course.
Yeah, so I'm excited. But yeah, Quakes is still here because I'm still from the Bay Area. So I cover the Quakes on a daily basis, I would say, besides today.
Dude, well, I'm glad that we get to catch up with you because I feel like a lot has been going on with San Jose, obviously stadium ownership and everything. So what's been new with the Quakes, especially like off the pitch as well, man, especially.
Yeah, well, the Quakes are kind of catching up to the rest of the league. They're making this new kind of plan to get a big training facility so they can have all the academies together and all the whole team, the first team together. So that's kind of still in the works. The Oakland A's are leaving. So if you don't really know about the Bay Area sports scene, that's kind of the biggest news right now. They're going to move to Las Vegas, and the same owner is for the A's, is for the Quakes. So a lot of people are kind of mad about the A's leaving. So they kind of take it out on the
Las Vegas Quakes.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna happen. It can't happen to this fan base twice.
I know, dude.
It can't happen
I want to
twice.
think about that, man. Oh my god.
But we'll see how he gets that funding for that big stadium in Vegas for the A's, right? So there's always rumors and people talk. Investors want to, especially now. See, all this rumor talk was something. Maybe someone wants to buy it, or someone's gonna want to step in and take over the Quakes because of the potential. But all that went out the window today when Messi signed with Inter Miami. I mean, every single team's evaluation of their club just went up by at least 20 to 30%. I mean,
crazy.
It's insane. This is the one. I hate to bring it back to this because we're talking Quakes, but man, you know how many people were bummed that Messi's not coming to San Jose?
Especially out there, man.
I mean, come on, dude. Even as a visitor, as an away team, Inter Miami's not even playing San Jose this year. You know, so things are gonna have to change if we're gonna do a real farewell tour. It's gonna be like a whole concert date list for when Messi comes to Levi Stadium out in the Bay Area, and then he plays on the West Coast teams, right? So,
wait. So let me ask you: Are A's fans going to Quakes games to protest?
Not to protest, but I mean there is some A's Quakes, rollover. Some people that like the A's like the Quakes, right? And some people like the Quakes like the A's. So there's obviously a bitter taste for the ownership group or the owner in San Jose as well, especially because we just lost the Raiders, and then now we lost the A's too,
and the Warriors, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. It depends on where you are. Yeah, where you are in the Bay Area. But again, this is kind of the same. It's kind of the same argument, right? Where we just had a women's team actually get announced. NWSL, the Bay FC, just got announced. Their marketing is a little more Bay centric. It's a little more SF based, while on the Quake side, it's still SF or SJ based, right? So we'll see if that changes, if they can capture some more of the Bay Area. So yes, we're losing teams, but maybe we're gaining teams at the same time, right? Maybe less is more in this case.
It's so interesting because California is such a big state, and I do think not only in just a geography sense, but on a cultural sense, the Bay Area is really important. And so it just sucks what's been going on with the Raiders and with the A's, but obviously they need to update their stadiums, and it's been a tough thing, man.
Yeah, in all honesty, this area has changed a lot. I've always said this a lot in the last couple of years after COVID. A lot of jobs here are remote, and a lot of people have been laid off. So a lot of people don't live in this area that lived here 10 years ago. So that's something to kind of keep in mind where, the attendance you could see for the Quakes is not the best, or the attendance for the A's, I think, is at 500 people in that big stadium, right?
510 possums, 3 rats.
Right. But again, this is something where maybe those diehards don't live in the area anymore, and maybe a lot of them moved to Vegas already. So, and that's what I kind of got with the Raiders, because people still want to go to Vegas. Vegas is still a destination, and people that moved away to, let's say, a Reno, which is in Nevada as well, from this area, they're closer to Vegas now. So it's not like it really matters, right? So we'll see how it pans out, but yeah, that's kind of the whole demographic in this area is changing, and that's the truth.
Hey, man, that's the country right now, man. But hey, let's talk about those Quakes on the pitch.
Yeah.
What's been the difference this year? I mean, you guys kind of been steady, hanging around 5th in the West, man. What's been the difference this year?
Yeah, honestly, I want to say having health and having depth is what's the difference. But we've been unhealthy. And we have been not at full strength ever since the beginning of the season, where we were hanging around first or second. the defense is a lot better. It's but I never thought the defense was that bad. I just felt like the defense needed help. I felt like we were starting, second or third chance guys last year, where we should have been starting, starting caliber guys. And this year we have those starting caliber guys. But they haven't seen a full lineup in a long time because either one guy's down, another guy's down. At the beginning of the season, Nathan went down for the season. And then just recently, Jonathan Mensah had some team issues, and then Carlos Ocampo was injured. So this defense, Daniel, the goalie that had a back-to-back clean sheet, was out for 2 months. So it seems like this team hasn't been healthy yet, but it's still found ways to stay solid and get wins and get at least ties on the road because we're still undefeated at home. So
Okay.
that's something that LAFC wasn't able to take away from us. So the Quakes play good at home, and they're going to need every single ounce of help they can this weekend. That's for sure.
Absolutely, man. So I think last time we spoke to you, we were going through the Matias Almeida stuff, and he was getting close to getting, what was it? He didn't get officially sacked. It was like parting
of ways.
Okay. So what's been the main difference between Lucci and Matias?
The way they play. I mean, in my opinion, this is my opinion. I felt like Matias' system, it was flawed for MLS, but not for other leagues. I think this was an okay system, but in such a travel-heavy league, I mean, guys, we're talking about Philadelphia and San Jose, right? Polar opposites of the country. So all this travel, all this tiredness that's going to come from this travel just wasn't calculated into Matias Almeida's way that he wanted to play because they were pressing 110% all the time. So you would get tired legs. You would get guys who aren't playing to their fullest capability because they know that they're going to have to track back on every single thing and have to guard a guy 1v1. I know a lot of guys in Phillies, they watch the Sixers as well. So yeah, it's like imagine Embiid guarding John Morant all game. Of course, Embiid's not going to want to, shoot. He's going to pass the ball every time. So that's exactly what happened to Christian Espinoza, where this season he's not as tired. He doesn't have as big of a defensive responsibility, so he can shoot and he can be an MVP candidate. So it's something where that's the biggest difference I feel like as well. This team trusts each other a lot more, which if you're running a one-on-one, defense, and like I said before, Embiid can't guard John Morant all game, you're going to start hating on Embiid and saying, yo, pick it up, so the team's a lot more connected, I would say, because they have to trust each other. They can trust each other more now.
Yeah, absolutely. So what has been Lucci's tactics been with the San Jose squad?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a kind of like a 4 at the back, and then kind of like a 6 and then 2, or excuse me, it's more like a 4-1-4. 4-1. No. I'm wrong. So we have a center defensive mid. We have 2 kind of holding 8s, and then we have 3 in the front. So we have Cade Cal, who's usually there, who will be back actually for this game, and then Bobasi and Christian Espinoza. So it's more like a 4-3-3. My apologies. Okay. Yeah. So but Grezzo has been solid too. Grezzo is a great pickup. Something that we've been missing in the midfield. I mean, we had Jackson Yule playing there, where I think Jackson Yule is a little bit more of an offensive-minded player. So having a kind of a real pit bull like you guys have there in Philly in the mix has helped this team a lot as well.
Yeah, we'll have to let her know. Our co-host Tim Lovinguth, hope he's listening in. He's a huge Jackson Yule fan. That's obviously a little sarcasm. Zach knows very well. Listen, the USMNT fans, sometimes, like some of these players, man. It's all good. It's all good. What's up, Scotty? What's going on, man? Hope you're having a great evening, brother. Hope a great evening, man. One thing I did want to ask, because this whole league was watching closely what happened with Bobasi and Dante Van Zier in that rival match. So how has Bobasi been able to bounce back? I've been really curious about that one, man.
Yeah, man, Bobasi's a superstar. That guy is something else. He's a hero to a lot of young kids out here in this Bay Area, and probably to a lot of people in the country. He's very well spoken. I learned the other day that he speaks fluent Spanish, which was shocking. Nice. But again, this is a guy who's the vice president of Black Players for Change, a guy who finds ways to make differences off the pitch as well. So he didn't let that phase him at all. And that's a true icon, a true hero for the area, for a lot of young kids too. And a lot of people can see that, this is one of the leaders that we want to have in our locker room and one of the leaders that we want to have in our community because he's just more than a player. He's a lot of things in one, to be honest.
And it doesn't hurt that he's also very, very good.
Yeah, exactly.
You wanted him for a minute, didn't you, Zach?
Absolutely I did. Absolutely I did.
I remember that Moss is back. He played really well. I think he scored against us too in that semifinal matchup
for the Timbers.
Yeah, when he was with the Timbers. Yeah,
but he was playing as a winger, so it's kind of weird to think that he played as a winger. Now, when I see him play, I'm like, dude, there's no way this guy could be a winger. I mean, he's a crazy aerial threat, and I'm like, on the wing, you want that? Okay,
versatility, man. That's good stuff, man. All right, we gotta ask, man. How's Miro doing? How's Miro been over there?
Dude, my boy Miro, come on, man. He's been the best player since he left Philadelphia, the league. You guys haven't heard about it? Come on. Locker room guy, not the best locker room guy in Philly, but he's the best locker room guy in San Jose. He's bringing cupcakes for everybody. No, he's played. He's going through a little bit of a drought this year. He had a solid year last year. Played very well. He was filling the shoes of Chofis Lopez, which is a player who left and joined Pachuca, and won the championship with them last year. So this is a player who was a good player in MLS, and he had big shoes to fill, and he filled them last year. This year, I see the team, the way they kind of go offensively, a little different. The way I see them is that they kind of feed the hot hand. I mean, if you have a hot shooter, you're going to always give the ball to him, right? So Christian Espinoza is the guy they want to run everything through. And that's what's going on right now. Miro has an assist, I believe, maybe 1 or 2 on the season, but he doesn't have too many. But it's not that he's playing bad. He's just kind of, being a supporting player instead of that superstar. And honestly, with the wages he's on and the transfer fee it took in, that's all right, So the guy to really look out for is Cade Cowell coming back from the World Cup and Christian Espinoza because so I mean,
dude, Cade was balling.
Yeah, I mean, and he would have had a third goal if he wasn't for that, or another goal if it wasn't for that guy in the middle of the goal versus Uruguay. So it was something. I don't know if that was Jack McGlynn, but man, there's gonna be some tough words between Cade and that guy. That's for
sure. Awesome stuff, man. Zach, let me bring it back to the Philly side, man. Dude, we are scorching hot, 9 unbeaten, but we got to go across country. And like Fabian said, man, traveling in this country is no joke, especially in this league. Dude, how do you feel about this team keeping up their form going over to the West Coast?
I think offensively they'll do well. I think defensively they'll struggle a little bit. We're not at predictions yet, but I think it's going to be a very even game. And yeah, I think that the formation against a team that's playing as well as San Jose, especially with Cade Cowell back, with 3 at the back, it can be a little tricky, especially when the team's playing a 4-3-3, because then you're pretty much matched up one-on-one with the back 3 and the front 3. So I think that could cause them a couple issues, and I think it will. But I don't think that they will struggle offensively. I think that's the side of this team this year, especially that's their identity. Whereas in past years, it's been the defense.
Okay. All right. Well, could we see the return of the diamond? We shall say, ladies and gentlemen.
I hope not.
So when the Quakes kind of defend, when Cade Cowell and Miro are both playing, they kind of do something weird. They almost move back into a 5-back system where Cade Cowell is kind of like your left wing back, and then Miro actually goes into the spot where Cade is. I mean, that's kind of how they press and they defend if they're really kind of trying to not get scored on. So keep an eye out for that. When Miro moves over to that left wing, kind of takes up the space for Cade. Cade, before he went to the World Cup, maybe was a little too timid to be that second striker, or he wanted to stay behind Miro, but he was acting more like a wing back, in my opinion. So I could see, like you said, a very even match. And in my opinion, I might even say a low-scoring match.
So you think it's like a 5-2-3 when they press, kind of, with Cade driving in there?
Yeah. When Miro, it's weird. Miro has the keys to PayPal Park. He can go anywhere he wants to go, and in Philly, he never got that. No, I'm kidding. but he really has the keys to the stadium. He can go anywhere on the pitch, and everybody just has to adjust to Miro. So we see that on Cade's side a lot more. He doesn't really try to go into Espinosa's side too much, but he definitely goes into Cade's side.
No, you make the joke, but like, no, that's literally what it was. It's literally
That's
what
why he left, because he did not get the keys.
Is Jim Curtin on the line? What's going on? You know, like.
Well, it's funny you say that, Fabian, because now we have Joaquin Torres, Argentino.
Yeah.
And it's funny because dude's got talent, and first minutes he's in the match, he comes off the bench, does 2 spin moves, and then he finds Julian Carranza for a goal, and we're all excited. We got our next Elsinio, and then he gets quiet, and what I see is that like he does a little bit too much. Like he's Argentine. He's very creative. Like, he wants to throw the ball at his feet, but sometimes a little bit too much, and he creates.
He was like, Messi's not in this league yet. Like let me
show you guys.
Yeah, and now it's too late now. So.
So that's why it's like watching Joaquin like kind of reminds me a little bit of Miro in that sense. It's like it's great at times, but like in this attack, man, everything's quick, one decisions, man, and it's sometimes you just got to make that quick decision. But I'm glad to see Miro doing well out there, and I think California may be a little more his speed too, man.
Yeah, I've actually got to know Miro pretty well. He's a nice guy.
He's a dope dude, man.
Yeah, I got to talk to him a lot at Coachella Valley when I was down there covering the team, and he's a good guy. He's quiet, but he's definitely a really nice guy. I always have to get it out of him, but yeah, he's a nice guy, and I'll love to have him in here. My favorite quote from him was last year. I was like, "What's the plan?" He's like, "Playoffs, of course, man. What are you talking about?" On the press conference, that was a nice quote.
Isn't it funny? Like some of these Euro players, and like they're like before it's like, well, get the Champions League, win the league, and here it's like playoffs,
playoffs, baby.
I just love that. Like a lot of guys have like a lot of PR kind of jargon, but he looked at me like I was like asking him like, when are we landing on Mars? Like what are you asking me for? Like
that's an obvious question.
Playoffs, but no, it was kind of like AI or like practice, talking about practice type of thing. So.
Jim Mora. He did the Jim Mora to you. The playoffs. Right. All right. Let's get to some lineups here. I'm curious to see how San Jose will line up here. What do you think of the lineup on Saturday?
Yeah, so like I said before, Cade Cal will slot right back into that left back, or the left wing role, and then we'll see at top. We'll see Espinosa on the right. Yule and Miro will be the holding mids, and then we'll see Gresso as your 6. And then if everybody's healthy on the back line, Jonathan Mensah is back now too. He was having a little riff with the team, so he had a 2-game suspension. But he's back with the team now. So you'll see Mensah and Rodriguez, which Rodriguez, if you don't know by now, he's one of the, I would say, most on-ball center backs that you see in the league. He almost likes to free roam into their striker position. So we kind of have a double striker at some times. It's weird. I've never seen
little John Stones action.
Yeah, it's real weird. I mean, you see this 6'7" dude just running through the midfield, asking for the ball from Miro, right? So it's like, all right, what's going on? But and then on the left side, we'll probably see Trauco, which is a Peruvian international. He's played in Ligue 1 and is a good player. And then as well as on the right side, we're going to probably see Carlos Acapo, which is a former La Liga player of last year. So again, this is a solid team. And then Daniel as a goal. I mean, he's had 2 clean sheets. You can't really take that out of goal. But he's been solid. He saved a PK last game. So I feel like that's how they're going to line up.
Okay. All right.
Which is a normal lineup. Nothing crazy.
Okay. Zach, I'm so curious how you think that line up here, man.
I kind of think that the only change we'll see from the normal, we'll not last week's lineup. I think Lowe goes back into center back, and I think Kai goes back out wide. I think Bizo comes back in on the right. I think Jack McGlynn starts over Flock, and I think the rest stays the same.
I love that. Martinez handling the defensive work. McGlynn just creating. I love that lineup, man. All right, let's get to some prediction time. All right, Fabian, what do you think will happen on Saturday night between the Union and San Jose?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think this is going to be the Union strike first, and then the Quakes spend 60 minutes trying to score to tie the game up, and then I think they're eventually going to tie. I think it'll be 1-1. They stay undefeated. So does Philly. once they both have that 1-1, they both take the pedal off the gas, and they both cruise with the tie. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Okay. Wando in the stands again. You know, Wando was there in 2019 in the stands against them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I believe he was with the Ultras that night, and then
Yeah,
Dude,
he was.
and then,
awesome, man.
there was the bald striker Casey. I forgot.
Oh yeah, Connor
Yeah,
Casey.
yeah.
Yeah, Connor Casey that scored twice against us, and I was like, dude, this guy's on the brink of retirement. What is he doing, scoring 2 goals on us? So, no, but that was a while ago. I think that was 2015 or something that I remember Philly coming into town. But yeah, I think it's gonna be 1-1. Wanda will probably be on the coaching staff because he's on the coaching staff. So,
Nice. I don't know.
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
yeah, I mean, why do you think Jeremy Bobusi's so good nowadays?
Hey.
No,
There you
Jeremy
go.
Bobusi's a great player, but Wando's influence is definitely there.
No, for sure, man. He was a great leader as a player. That's for sure, man. Zach, what do you think will happen on Saturday night?
I also think it's gonna be a draw. I think it's gonna be 2-2 though.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a little more attacking from both sides. I think, but yeah, I think it ends in a draw. I think it's gonna be a good matchup.
All right. I do have one more question here for Fabian. So
Yeah.
we did talk about this earlier, but I do want to get your thoughts on it. So here is the Eastern Conference table. All right. So with today's news, do you think Miami makes the playoffs?
Of course, 9 teams make the playoffs. What are they? 4 points away?
6 points, but yeah,
I mean, yeah. I mean,
6 points behind Charlotte. Yep.
come on, 6 points right now. We're not even halfway through. So come on.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
If they get
they changed
Data, lock it in. They're making the playoffs.
if they get Data, dude, I'm locking it right now.
Yeah, they got Messi, dude. They don't even need
You don't,
that.
you don't think all the guys who play for Inter Miami right now are like juiced?
That's what that was my whole argument. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, they're gonna be buzzing.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
like Josef is gonna score like 8 goals and then get shipped off to Charlotte, right? So
Yeah, he's gonna be like, oh, I get to play with Messi, and they're like, no, you don't.
it's like, is your name Luis Suarez? No, you're not.
No, you're
not.
out of here, dog.
Yeah.
oh
Like
my God.
we've been saving Suarez down at Gremio, all right? He's coming up. He's coming to Inter Miami. Busquets is coming, and you know what? We're starting to look like Kings League at that point. But it's gonna sell some seats. It's gonna get some stars in the stadium, and it's gonna be a good time. I'm feeling so bold today, guys, that I'm saying that MLS is probably more popular than baseball today.
I think so.
And I don't
think
know
you're lying,
how long
man.
that's gonna last because the Yankees aren't playing today. But
The Phillies aren't playing either.
yeah, exactly. So we'll see, right? We'll see how much impact Messi has, and I think it's gonna be a big one. I think people are gonna tune in to
It was weird because so NBC Sports covers Philadelphia sports here. So they cover the Birds, the Sixers, Flyers, Phillies. So today they put a graphic of Messi coming to MLS with the Uni logo, and I'm like, that looks weird.
Yeah, you should have
You never
posted.
talk about us.
Yeah. No, exactly. I feel like well, I'm a little worried though on the reporter side and the photography side because I have a lot of photographers and I do a lot of reporting that we're gonna see a lot of new names. And I'm like, oh, well, you weren't really there, So
Just
Yeah,
as
you
long
didn't
as
wanna be
the-
you didn't want to be here until Messi was here. Yeah.
right. So I think we're gonna start seeing if you guys are on Twitter or if anybody listening is on Twitter, you're probably gonna see some new reporters just pop out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Or you're probably just getting to start to know me, right? So it's something that we're all gonna have a lot of fun with. But yeah, I think this deal. You know what I think the biggest thing is? I think binding Messi to the amount of subscriptions to Apple TV is the biggest part of that deal because one, Apple's gonna populate everyone's phone and say they got Messi or something like that, where
He's gonna do
everyone's
ads
gonna
for
see-
it.
Yeah, everyone's gonna see a link to Messi's first game. Everyone's gonna get a push notification for it that has an iPhone, which is like 80% of people, unless you have that one friend that's weird and won't get it, and they can never get added to the group chats because all the videos send weird because they just have to have an Android.
and now he's asking for the Apple TV log.
Yeah.
Right? So,
He's
No,
like,
I
guys,
think-
Messi made me buy an iPhone.
and you're gonna see, hey, who knows, right?
Maybe.
I'm gonna buy those new lenses just to see Messi right next to me.
Yeah, the power of the goat. The power of the goat, man. The power of the goat.
No, but in all honesty, you'll see Messi probably post on his Instagram, which is the biggest Instagram there is, about Apple TV and about MLS, which that is gonna help the league grow
Oh yeah.
way more than his on-field.
Well, Inter Miami already got 1.3 million more followers on Instagram today.
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
man.
So I mean, there's a
counting.
Messi effect. So once they start collaborating, like doing collab posts with Inter Miami and with Messi, I mean,
Yeah.
who knows, right? And Apple is smart. They literally just had a conference 2 days ago about one of their products. This is a product of theirs, and
Yes.
they got the biggest thing ever. So it's really, I mean, Apple's laughing all the way to the bank right now.
It's bigger than the iPod, bigger than the iPhone, bigger than the Mac, iWatch,
Exactly.
you name it, man. iMessy.
I was at work today because I work a normal 9 to 5. Like, dude, what are we doing here? Like,
We have to
Dude,
go.
what are we
far-
doing
We
here,
have to go
Messi?
celebrate.
yeah,
we
right.
gotta go celebrate.
We don't got the Fernet. We don't got the Argentinian steak. Come on, what's going on? You know, give me
It's
a
not a national
hole.
holiday. It's
Give me
not a
a
national.
hole.
It's not a national holiday.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I literally have my Argentinian flag. I'm about to pop out my Uruguayan flag and be like, boludo. Aquí, boludo.
Mate just became the #1 selling caffeinated drink
Yeah,
in America.
yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. So
Oh,
it's
man,
gonna be a
should fun,
learning
man.
process, but it's gonna be a fun one. And,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna
and
be awesome.
you know how many bars are gonna be posting or saying something? Oh, how do you get Apple TV on the bars? I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Now the time is gonna happen, right? You're gonna be like, dude, come on, slap an Apple TV or a Fire Stick in that thing. Don't talk to me about I can't put Apple TV on a bar screen. Come
Yeah,
on,
you
bro.
can.
Like,
You can.
all,
Not that
yeah,
hard,
so
man.
all these bars are gonna have to update with the times.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome stuff, man. Well, listen, Fabian, we appreciate you coming here, man. Plug away. Where can people find your great work, brother?
Yeah, I mean, on Instagram, I am Fabian Rankel, and then on Twitter, I just Fabian Rankel, and then I have a magazine coming out. So I know there's a lot of basketball fans out there in Philly. We're gonna go ahead and do a magazine similar to Slam. We're gonna try to do something like that. So I want to do more of the culture behind soccer and the culture that is around soccer. So yeah, we can all talk X and O's like on this podcast and have a great time. But I want to do a little bit more for the culture. So we're gonna have a magazine coming out with a whole bunch of pictures and things like that. So it'll be
Dude,
a lot
I
of fun.
love that, man.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
all up my alley, man. I love that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so yeah, I mean, shoot, we gotta get you to
Dude,
be involved somehow.
You let
but
me
yeah,
know
we're
what to do,
excited.
man. I'm in. That's awesome. That sounds sick, dude.
Yeah,
Slamba for like this is for football in America.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're
Sick,
gonna be
man.
doing is talking about sneakers or cleats and
Oh,
music and
Oh,
Yeah.
get me
what
in on the
we-
boot. Get me in on the boot talk, man.
yeah, exactly. So we feel like, let's make MLS drippy, and this Messi, it's already helping. So I'm excited to release our first issue this month. I'm working like crazy, but it's gonna be a fun ride. And then you can find my Forbes articles on my Twitter, and you can find them on Forbes as well. So if you want to go ahead and get some more insights on odds and money and things like that, definitely check that out. And yeah, you can always find me anywhere. Really, you gotta look for the crazy mullet hair, So
Dude, you've been putting in hard work. We definitely have not overseen that here in Philadelphia. So keep up
I
the good work,
appreciate
man.
that. Thank you.
And we'll talk for the next San Jose match, man. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course. Yeah, best of luck this weekend, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
And
you
let's-
do.
And I like both of you, so let's out for a tie. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good, Fabian. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's episode of Dupe by the River. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you're watching here live on Barcelona Philly's YouTube channel. Subscribe as well. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe wherever you stream podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Fabian Rankel. That is Zach Labasso. Of course, I go by the name of El Parcero Philly, and we're telling you guys to dupe on.